The Kuki people, an indigenous group primarily residing in northeast India and parts of Myanmar, have long aspired for self-determination. Their journey towards achieving this goal has been marked by a history of resistance, resilience, and a steadfast commitment to preserving their cultural identity. The demand for a separate Kuki Union territory within India represents a significant chapter in their ongoing struggle for recognition and autonomy. This essay will delve into the historical events that have shaped the Kuki struggle, highlighting key moments and organizations that have played a pivotal role in their fight for self-governance. The Kuki people have a rich cultural heritage and a strong sense of community. They have inhabited their ancestral lands for centuries, developing unique traditions and governance systems. However, their history has also been intertwined with colonialism and its lasting impacts, leading to a persistent struggle for recognition and autonomy within the Indian state. The Kuki struggle is rooted in a desire to protect their land, culture, and identity. They seek to have greater control over their own affairs and to ensure the well-being of their communities. Their journey towards achieving this goal has been met with various challenges, requiring them to navigate complex political landscapes and advocate for their rights. Understanding the Kuki struggle requires acknowledging the historical context that has shaped their aspirations. From colonial encounters to post-independence realities, the Kuki people have consistently sought to assert their right to self-determination. Their story is one of resilience, determination, and an unwavering commitment to preserving their cultural heritage. The Anglo Cooki War of 1917 to 1919 stands as a significant turning point in the Kuki people's struggle for autonomy. During World War I, the British colonial administration, facing a shortage of manpower, attempted to recruit Kuki men for forced labor. This demand was met with fierce resistance from the Kukis, who viewed it as an infringement upon their traditional way of life and an affront to their dignity. The war, though brief, left an indelible mark on the Kuki psyche. It instilled a deep sense of resentment towards external interference in their affairs and solidified their resolve to resist any form of subjugation. The bravery and sacrifices made by the Kuki warriors during this conflict became a source of inspiration for future generations, fueling their determination to strive for self-governance. The Anglo Cooki War also exposed the inherent power imbalance between the colonial administration and the indigenous communities they sought to control. The conflict highlighted the Kuki people's deep connection to their land and their willingness to defend it at all costs. This spirit of resistance would continue to shape their struggle for autonomy in the decades that followed. The war's aftermath saw the emergence of a nascent Kuki nationalist sentiment. The shared experience of fighting against a common enemy fostered a sense of unity and identity among the various Kuki tribes. This growing sense of nationalism would pave the way for the formation of political organizations dedicated to advocating for Kuki rights and aspirations. The Anglo Cooki War served as a catalyst for the emergence of a more unified Kuki identity. In the aftermath of the conflict, a sense of shared grievance and a desire for self-preservation began to bind the various Kuki tribes together. This newfound unity, fueled by the sacrifices made during the war, laid the groundwork for the rise of Kookie nationalism. Kuki intellectuals and leaders, recognizing the need for a collective voice, began to organize and mobilize their communities. They understood that to effectively advocate for their rights and aspirations, they had to present a united front. This realization led to the formation of various socio-cultural and political organizations aimed at promoting Kuki interests. These organizations played a crucial role in fostering a sense of shared identity among the Kuki people. They organized cultural events, published literature in Kuki languages, and established educational institutions that celebrated their heritage. These initiatives helped to bridge traditional divides between tribes and foster a sense of belonging to a larger Kookie nation. The rise of Kookie nationalism was not merely a reaction to external pressures, but also a reflection of a growing awareness of their distinct cultural identity. The Kookie people, like many other indigenous communities in the region, sought to preserve their traditions, languages, and way of life in the face of assimilationist policies and influences. This desire for cultural preservation became intertwined with their political aspirations, further solidifying their demand for self-governance. Section 4, the Kookie National Assembly, established in the 1950s, marked a significant step in the Kookie people's pursuit of self-determination. This organization provided a platform for Kookie leaders to articulate their demands for greater autonomy within the newly independent Indian state. The assembly advocated for the creation of a separate Kookie state within India, arguing that it was essential for the protection of their cultural identity and the equitable development of their communities. The Kookie National Assembly played a vital role in raising awareness about the unique challenges faced by the Kookie people. They highlighted issues such as land alienation, economic marginalization, and the lack of political representation. The Assembly engaged in dialogue with the Indian government, urging them to address their concerns and grant them greater autonomy over their affairs. While the Kookie National Assembly's demand for a separate state was not immediately met, their efforts helped to bring the Kookie struggle to the forefront of national attention. Their advocacy work laid the groundwork for future generations of Kookie leaders and activists who would continue to fight for their rights. The Kookie National Assembly's legacy lies in its ability to unite the Kookie people under a common banner and articulate their aspirations for self-governance. Their efforts demonstrated the growing political consciousness within the Kookie community and their determination to secure a better future for themselves. Section 5. Navigating the post-independence landscape, the quest for recognition. The post-independence period in India presented both opportunities and challenges for the Kookie people in their pursuit of self-determination. The Indian constitution, with its emphasis on federalism and the protection of minority rights, offered some hope. However, the Kookie people soon realized that the reality on the ground was far more complex. Despite their historical claims and distinct cultural identity, the Kookie people found themselves dispersed across different states in northeast India. This division made it difficult for them to present a united front and effectively advocate for their rights at the national level. Moreover, the Indian government's approach to integrating its diverse ethnic groups often prioritized assimilation over accommodation, leading to anxieties among the Kookies about the erosion of their cultural identity. Despite these challenges, the Kookie people continued to engage with the Indian political system. They participated in elections, formed alliances with other indigenous groups, and used legal avenues to voice their concerns. Their efforts were aimed at securing greater political representation and ensuring that their voices were heard in the corridors of power. This period also saw the emergence of new forms of mobilization and advocacy within the Kookie community. Student organizations, women's groups, and other civil society actors began to play a more active role in articulating Kookie aspirations. They organized protests, published reports highlighting their grievances, and engaged in dialogue with government officials and policymakers.